The quiet hum of coin production in Denver during the late 1990s carried on, with mechanical precision, yet one momentary slip in 1998 quietly echoed for decades. Over 3.3 billion Lincoln cents were struck that year, the Lincoln Memorial design unchanged, the copper-plated zinc dies humming the same repetitive script, Abraham Lincoln in profile on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, D, mint mark for Denver, date clear and crisp. A penny designed to be utilitarian, abundant, unremarkable. Until one penny became anything but, Ben Rivers enjoyed mornings at his local coin and memorabilia swap meet. He wasn't expecting anything rare, just a few cents here and there for sorting. One spring afternoon in 2015, he purchased a handful of 1998 D pennies from a dealer selling bulk common cents. Nothing stood out until he flipped a single coin beneath his desk lamp at home and noticed something odd. The surface looked normal, but the edge told another story. Slightly distorted reading, inconsistent depth. Unlikely on any standard issue Lincoln cent. His pulse quickened as he brought it under magnification. Lincoln's profile was intact, but the letters of Liberty trailed faintly toward the rim, showing ghosted doubling. The date, 1998 D, had slight shadowing behind it. Most intriguing was the rim itself, muddy at one side, crisp at the other, a sign the planchet had slipped slightly during striking. But the real anomaly, a fine hairline die crack stretched from the top of Lincoln's coat lapel into his jawline, subtle, but undeniably real. Every error individually could be explained, machine doubling, misaligned collar, die fatigue. But finding them together on a well-preserved coin? Unexpected. Ben compared it to circulated counterparts. None shared the same combination. He posted close-up photos on a numismatic forum. Responses ranged from skepticism to excitement. A seasoned collector noted the die crack matched a rare variety previously dismissed as post-mint damage. Others identified the doubling as deeper and broader than typical machine doubling. Consensus slowly built. This was something unique, not recorded in error listings of the year. Offers started modestly, $75 here, $150 there, but nothing serious. The thrill wasn't in selling. Ben continued his investigation. He reached out to auction houses to get opinions. A few experts suggested that a short-lived slip in collar die tension, combined with an overstressed die used beyond its expected lifespan, could explain the combination of errors. If so, this penny might be one of very few surviving examples. In 2017, the grading was confirmed. 1998 D Lincoln cent, double die obverse and die crack, broad strike, MS63BN. Sales of Lincoln cents with singular errors from that year rarely exceeded $200. But Ben's coin had three distinct errors, sharp detail, near uncirculated. Its market journey quickened. A regional auction saw a similar specimen, less clear in detail, but clearly part of the same error pattern. It sold for $1,100. The coin story took shape. There really was a brief production anomaly in the Denver Mint during early 1998. Collectors began exchanging sightings in online groups. Some lower-grade examples fetched $300 to $500. But Ben's coin, now with high-resolution photos, provenance, and professional certification, remained the benchmark. Still unsold, still waiting for the right moment. That moment came in a major national auction in mid-2020. Previews spotlighted the coin among dozens of modern error highlights. Bidding opened conservatively. Phone lines buzzed with participants. When the gavel finally fell, the coin brought $12,800. Its transformation from face-value penny to five-figure headline item stunned many. The coin story had sparked renewed interest in 1998 D Lincoln cents. As demand rose, so did speculation and awareness. Numismatists began reviewing thousands of cents. A dozen more specimens emerged, some circulated, some hand-picked for clearer doubling or sharper die cracks. None matched Ben's original in quality, but collectively they confirmed a short-lived anomaly happening in early Denver production runs. The Mint's internal logs remained silent, no official acknowledgement, but the coins told the story. Collectors compared notes. One found a 1998 D cent with faint, but distinct doubling and a faint rim misalignment. Another discovered a specimen preserving only the die crack, no doubling, yet still reminiscent of Ben's find. Those without provenance sold in private sales for $800 to $2,500. The coin market began to segment, circulated pieces under $1,000, mid-grade examples $2,000 to $6,000, and high-grade multiple-error coins commanding larger sums. The twist came when a retired former press operator, who worked at Denver in 1998, sent an anonymous email to a coin forum. He confirmed that during a mid-year maintenance shutdown, worn collar dies had been reinstalled after cleaning, without proper calibration. The collar rings were slightly loose, and the dies themselves had hairline fatigue cracks. He suggested that only a handful of coins struck in the 2 hours before the next maintenance window would show the full blend of misalignment and die cracking. His description closely matched Ben's coin. Suddenly, the error became not just random chance, but a documented production lapse. As word spread, the value evolution intensified. Ben's coin, and used in auction house inventories, was now whispered about in elite collecting circles. When he finally decided to sell privately in late 2021, the deal closed at $24,500. No flashy press release, just a quiet, well-informed transaction. But its price set a new floor. Only the finest specimens of the error combination now held high value. Catalog listings began including estimated ranges, basic error copies in the mid-4 figures, premium multiple error coins in 5-figure territory. One unmatched MS66 example, with stronger doubling and razor-sharp detail, sold privately for $41,000. That coin even showed a slight rotated collar impression, meaning the rim had shifted angle during one strike. Another collector, years earlier, had sold the lower grade half of a matched pair for $3,800. Now, paired with Ben's record specimen, it formed a collector's set commanding over $45,000 combined. Throughout it all, Ben remained humbled. His penny, once just a string of date and mint mark in a bulk roll, had become a benchmark of modern Lincoln error collecting. For younger collectors, the story was a cautionary tale of paying attention. For veteran numismatists, it became a lesson in how even common issues can yield shockingly rare anomalies. Today, the 1998 D Lincoln Penny Error Series holds a defined place among modern U.S. errors, valued based on error clarity, condition, and whether multiple strike issues coexist. The finest examples now lie insured, privately held, and occasionally pass through high-end auctions. Yet even now, some circulated specimens still quietly offer modest returns, and the possibility of discovery. Collectors still hunt through rolls and jars, hopeful. They tilt pennies under bright lights, check edging twice, feel for slight weight deviations, watch for doubled letters or faint cracks. And somewhere, perhaps in a child's piggy bank or a forgotten change jar, another specimen may wait. A penny born ordinary but made extraordinary by the delicate imperfections of a fleeting moment in minting history. Over 6 billion pennies were struck in 1996, a year when the U.S. Mint ran at full speed from Philadelphia and Denver. The Lincoln cent, by then, had become a symbol of consistency, unchanged in design for decades, familiar to every American palm. From school vending machines to corner gas stations, the 1996 Lincoln cent passed unnoticed in millions of transactions. Few could have guessed that buried among this mountain of copper-plated zinc were a handful of coins hiding an imperfection, one so subtle that it would take a determined and curious eye to uncover it. A mistake that would turn the mundane into something truly remarkable. One rainy autumn afternoon, nestled in a quiet suburb, a young collector named Marcus sat at his dining table sorting through a shoebox filled with coins inherited from his grandfather. The box had no labels, no sign that anything inside it was extraordinary, just the sound of loose change and memories waiting to be found. Marcus had always enjoyed the rhythmic calm of coin sorting, but he didn't expect anything special from the hundreds of Lincoln cents he was now flipping one by one until he reached a 1996 penny. A Denver Mint mark was pressed under the date, like millions of others. But something about this particular coin didn't feel right. At first, it was the color, a slightly muted tone, darker than usual. Then came the real oddity. When Marcus tilted the coin under his desk lamp, the letters in Liberty seemed a little too thick. He looked again. The word wasn't just bold, it was shadowed. A ghost image appeared just slightly off the main strike. He blinked, adjusted his lens, and leaned in. This was doubling. Not dramatic, not the textbook kind you see online, but doubling caused by die deterioration, a more common type, but rare to see this clearly. Curious, Marcus flipped the coin to examine the reverse. It was here that his hands froze. On the Lincoln Memorial side, something odd leapt out. The spacing between the A and M in America was slightly wider than the others he had just catalogued. He laid 10 1996 pennies next to each other. Only this one had the spacing anomaly. Could it be the so-called wide AM reverse? That was something generally associated with 1998 and 1999 cents, not 1996. If true, this was something special. Marcus spent days researching. What he discovered fascinated him. The wide AM variety refers to the gap between the letters A and M in America on the reverse of Lincoln Memorial cents. Normally, the 1996 cents had the close AM design, where the two letters almost touched. A wide AM in 1996 would mean the reverse die used to strike that coin was intended for a different year, most likely due to a mix-up at the mint. Such occurrences are rare, and when documented, can command significant value. But in 1996, this variety wasn't widely recognized, until now. Marcus's excitement was tempered with caution. What he held in his hand was either a misunderstood anomaly or the beginning of something new in the world of coin collecting. He shared photos of the penny online, expecting skepticism. The responses surprised him. Some seasoned collectors acknowledged the doubling on the obverse, while others confirmed the reverse did indeed resemble the wide AM. One collector even noted that the spacing wasn't just off, it matched the proof design spacing used in certain San Francisco issues, further complicating the mystery. He submitted the coin to a reputable grading service. Weeks passed. When the coin returned, it came in a tamper-proof slab marked with the words 1996 Lincoln cent, die deterioration doubling obverse, wide AM reverse, MS64RB. This confirmed two significant features. First, the doubling wasn't from hub doubling, but from a deteriorated die, making the ghost-like shadows on Liberty and the date more fascinating than flashy. Second, and more importantly, it verified the rare wide AM reverse on a business strike 1996 penny. This was a combination few had ever seen. Once verified, the coin's value began to evolve. Initially, Marcus received offers in the hundreds. But as word of the coin spread through collector forums and hobby circles, interest spiked. Some dismissed it as a fluke. Others believed it to be part of a hidden subset of 1996 cents struck with the wrong reverse die. Either way, Marcus's penny became the centerpiece of debate. The first public sale of a similar coin in slightly lower condition reached nearly $2,000. A second example, more worn but still displaying the wide AM feature, fetched $3,500 in a private sale. Marcus held on to his, refusing multiple five-figure offers. The market was watching. And the mystery behind this error was just beginning to unfold. Rumors began to circulate. Former mint workers anonymously claimed that in early 1996, a small batch of reverse dies intended for proof strikes might have been mistakenly sent to Denver. It wasn't unprecedented. Errors like this had occurred before, but documentation was nearly non-existent. If true, only a few hundred coins could have escaped detection. And of those, even fewer would have survived in mint state condition. Marcus's coin wasn't just a curiosity. It was a window into a moment of human error at one of the most precise facilities in the country. A reminder that even in mass production, the unexpected can slip through. As months passed, auction houses and collectors began using Marcus's find as a reference. Grading services updated their error listings to include the 1996 DYAM with die deterioration doubling. Slowly, the numismatic world began to acknowledge what Marcus had stumbled upon, a rare and captivating blend of imperfections. The final twist came when a second coin, seemingly identical in error, appeared at a regional coin show. But upon inspection, this one carried an additional anomaly, a thin die crack running across Lincoln's cheek, forming a faint scar. The dealer who found it had no idea it was part of the same family until Marcus contacted him. Together, they cross-referenced details, and both coins were confirmed to have been struck within the same die stage, likely only hours apart on the same press line. What began as a casual evening of sorting coins transformed into the uncovering of a previously undocumented variety. In the years since, only a handful of additional examples have been found, most heavily circulated, their features worn. Today, high-grade versions of this 1996 D-era penny are known to trade for anywhere between $15,000 and $25,000. The most pristine specimens, untouched by time, can command even higher, quietly auctioned among elite collectors. But the coin's true value lies in its story. A story of discovery, of accident, of the remarkable hiding in plain sight. A small copper coin from 1996, made to be ordinary, became anything but. And as Marcus often says when asked about his discovery, sometimes, it's not what you're looking for that changes everything. It's what you almost miss.